Hi there. Sometimes I wonder if somebody might happen along this video and not have seen the other parts. We're talking about going in fourths or fifths in shapes to the left or to the right on the guitar neck as you view it from your eye point to the guitar. So when we're going to the left, it's pretty much going down the strings, and that would be in fourths. So if we're going from the C-shaped cage, which would be, that's your C shape, and we're going from that C shape to an E shape down here, which is this guy. And actually, guess what? I can't even play all of those notes because my fret nut's right here. Okay, but going from that C shape to the E shape, we have a diminished fourth. So because the fourth of C is F, we have instead an E shape. The F would be where the F is. We would start the whole thing over again from there. So we'd go, then we'd go, but we don't do that because we have the tuning warp, the tuning third that happened between the fourth and the fifth string that created this anomaly in the first place, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why when we're going from the going to the left in fourths. So look at this. When we're going in string shapes, these are the shapes. They're not string shapes. These are the cage shapes. String shapes are the individual shapes of the strings. Okay, so we talk about string shapes over here. This is the 10-string pattern stack for string grouping, all 5 string shapes. Okay, string shapes. The C shape is 3, 4, 5. The G shape is 6, 7 root. The D shape is 2, 3, 4. These are individual string shapes. But when we're talking about entire cage shapes, these are pattern stacks of string shapes. The bottom string. Okay, sorry, I had to take a quick break there. I'm sitting back here a little bit so we don't get so much of my ceiling. You know, really, if we could just cut the ceiling out a little bit, you know, it would be helpful. But now you're getting my belly, my Great World Gym Orlando shirt, which guess what? It shrunk. This shirt used to be big. Now I don't know, I don't know if it's from me working out or whatever, but definition is one thing. I have some definition this month, but I really don't have raw strength. So I don't lift a whole lot of weight when I lift, but I lift high intensity, which is like 100 reps, and I just keep lowering the weight so I can get to that 100. You know, I usually do it in 4. Anyway, back to the lesson. We're looking at the cage shape. So this is the D cage shape. This is the tripentatonic cage. So it's also showing the 4th and the 5th, and that's all this is. These are the shapes of the 4th and the 5th. Here's C, E, G. The shape of the 4th is an E shape. Okay, so in the C cage, anywhere you start it, right, in key of C, the C shape is a C-shaped C, so it'd be, and then we'd have an E-shaped 4, all right, so that would be, I don't do the arpeggio that easy on the E shape, but I can do it at the G shape. Then we have the G shape 5th. So these are, you know, all right, that's your G shaped arpeggio. So it's the G shaped chord. So these are the 1, 4, 5. But remember, when we're going in fourths, we're going to have a diminished fourth to the E because of this guy. We don't go there. We're not going to the F shape. We're not going to start an F shape there. We're going to do an E shape right there. And I showed you how that could almost work. It sounded like it did work. Anyway, But that would be just like a continuing circle of fourths. But that's not what it is because we don't have P4 tuning. I believe that's what it is. Someday I'll really do a full study on that, and we'll find out exactly what's going on. But these things have come through the ages, and they're tried and true. So these are the tried and true cages. Now I have the fourth and the fifth showing. Fourth of D is G, and then the fifth of G is A. So we got a D shape, a G shape, and an A shape right there, all in the same cage. Here's your D-shaped root, 5, root 3. Here's your G-shaped root. It would be, the G-shaped fourth, rather. Not G-shaped root, sorry, my bad. It would be 4, 6, root. So here's 3, 5, root 3, 5 in the D shape. But in the second inversion, it's 5, root 3. 5, root 3. There's your little D shape. You know, everybody knows that D chord. Everybody loves to play. A little bit of D chord up there. It could be a D shaped C, or it could be the D itself. Because you can suspend it so easily. And then bounce it on off the the other notes. And then we look at the G-shaped fourth, okay, which is over here, 4, 6, root. And that's in the root position. G-shape always starts in the root position. And then the arpeggio is always a repeat of that particular triad. So it would go 4 to 6, because it's warped over, the 6 warped over, and to root again. So it's 4, 6, root, 4, 6, root. That's your G-shaped fourth. Okay, so in the key of C, what were we in? Were we in the key of C? I hope so. It would be something like 4, 6, root, and then 4, 6, root. 4, 6, where am I? 4, 6, root, 4, 4, oh, I had to go up the 4, 4, 6. Now, are we going to get to root or not? Yes, that's what I wanted, that open C at the end. Sorry about that. We'll just consider that a blooper. Blooper. I'll tell you, sometimes I can't start the whole thing over again because we're pretty good into this segment and we don't want to lose what we were covering before. So when we're going in fourths, let's get back to what we were talking about. We're going in fourths to the left. The D goes to G. The fourth of the D cage is the G cage. The fourth of the G cage is the C cage, but the fourth of the C cage is not the E cage, not the F cage. It's the diminished fourth, or a perfect third, going to the E cage again. So I would caution when we're using everything to root, everything in relation to root. Let's look over here with the C cage here. Remember, the fourth is not going to have its own root. It's not going to be root 3, 5 anymore. It's going to be 4, 6, root. And the fifth is going to be 5, 7, 2 again in the next octave. The minor 6 is going to be 6, root 3. Okay? So in the C box, the minor 6 would be our familiar 3, 6 root right there, second inversion A minor. The D minor would be 6, 2 root, second inversion D minor. Okay, so it'd be A, D, and F up there, the fourth of C. And the E would be second inversion E minor, 7, 3, 5, 7, 3, 5. Okay, that would be our familiar E minor, but it's, instead of calling it like 5 root 3, we're sticking to the root key. So the relatively E minor second inversion would be 7, 3, 5 there. So that's the system.